Hello everyone, Zach Barnes here for the WT Sports Network, welcoming you to this week's edition of Heard That. It's a good day to be a Buff and a solid weekend for WT Athletics as baseball and softball have officially gotten their season started. But before we go to that, we'll start off with basketball. Lady Buffs back home on Saturday against Texas Women's. Madison Wild leading the way with 23 points on the afternoon as the Lady Buffs got a big 80-55 win.
You know, a little bit better focus executing on the offensive end. Defensively, we're cleaning up a few things that were probably problems for us early on the first time around we played some of these teams. And really we're just not a full complete game yet, but just playing, giving ourselves a chance to get leads and then sustaining it, taking care of the basketball a little bit more. Overall, just playing with a little bit more confidence. You know, she's playing really well right now. I think what is making her unique is she's giving us an inside and out presence. When she's making a few three-pointers and scoring in the paint, now that makes it tough for any post player to have to defend the post that can shoot from the perimeter. And she's finishing around the basket, and that's always been an area that she struggled with, and she's actually doing that now. She's giving us some big games, really stepping up and making some big baskets, along with other teammates as well.
Lady Buffs now sitting 17-6 overall, 10-4 in Lone Star Conference play. And up next for the Lady Buffs, they'll be back at home once again with a Thursday matchup against Cameron and a Saturday matchup against Midwestern State.
Cameron, they're the high-scoring team. They're averaging almost 80 points a game right now for women's basketball. That's pretty good. We got to figure out how to defend them. They can shoot threes. Any team that can shoot threes, you know, the three ball is the greatest separator in the game. And we have to keep them off that three-point line. And that they push, they're really quick. They run a dribble drive offense, so we're going to have to keep everything in front and defend that three-point line with everything we have.
Unlike the Lady Buffs, the men's team were actually on the road on Saturday as they went to see UT Permian Basin in the Falcon Dome. David Chavlovic scoring 28 points on that afternoon and going up to that #1 spot in the all-time career scoring list at West Texas A&M. Despite the solid game by David Chavlovic, the Buffs still ended up losing that game 77-73.
Yeah, we have to rebound first, you know, and that's the thing is if you don't rebound, you can't get going. And we've struggled a little bit. I think they beat us by 12 on the boards in the first half. Second half, I think we were even. We played a lot better in the second half, but you're right, if you can get easy baskets, and that's what Permian did to us. They had, you know, 10, 12, maybe 20 fast break points that were just layups, and that's a little bit some bad shots that we took, and then also we turned the ball over a little bit, and you just can't do that. What I was proud with our guys, we only had 6 turnovers in the first half, and we turned them over quite a bit, but we didn't make some free throws. We missed some front ends of 1-and-1s, and you know, you've got to play really well on the road and at home to win these ball games, and we're just not playing our best right now. But teams go through that all year, and hopefully that's just a little slump for us, and hopefully we can get back on track this weekend. Yeah, you know, David, you know, we had, after that last game, our last loss, you know, I think our locker room was a little bit down, and David actually had, you know, he was someone that is a leader for us, and he was talking about what we need to do, and he met with the guys a little bit, and he doesn't care about the all-time scoring record. I don't think he really does. I think that's a nice accomplishment. I hope he really cares about it 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, because I don't know if anybody will break that for a while because he still has a year left as well as this season. But it's something that David would rather have the win, and that shows a true leader, a true champion, and hopefully we can get back on track this weekend.
Buffs record now moves to 19-6, 7-5 in Lone Star Conference play, as just like the Lady Buffs, they will be home this weekend, seeing Cameron on Thursday and Midwestern State on Saturday.
Yeah, we struggle on the road, and it'll be good to get back home. We've been pretty successful at home, so hopefully getting back and getting our crowd behind us will help us out. And 2 big games this weekend with Cameron and Midwestern. And it's something where it's pretty bottled up. You know, there's a little separation at the top with Tarleton and UTP being 1 and 2, and then there's the rest of us. And so these are big games, as well as next weekend on the road, but you can only play one at a time, so these are big games for us at home this weekend.
West Texas A&M baseball has officially started, and last weekend they hit the road to start the season. He went to Las Vegas, New Mexico to see New Mexico Highlands in a 3-game series. Buffs started their season with a perfect 3-0 record with a 9-1 win on Friday, 21-2 win on Saturday, and a 9-5 win on Sunday.
I thought we played really well in certain areas. I think the best area that we played was defensively. I think we had 2 errors the entire weekend, which was really good, especially with the 2 errors. They were tough errors. One was, a bad hop in the outfield, and the other one was just a little bit of miscommunication. So defensively, all in all, I thought we played outstanding. Was really proud of the guys. That's always the one area you worry about early on in the season. So it's something that we've addressed early on, and they bought in and played really good defensively. But obviously, we put up some runs. We did a good job there. I thought we left a lot of runs out there still. Especially in game 2. I know, obviously, looking at the score, you'd think that was our best offensive production. Obviously, scoring 21 runs. But that was the game I was most frustrated with, just because early in that game we had a lot of opportunities, and they had a really good arm going. The Pacheco kid, who was a kid that I knew going in was going to be really tough arm to beat, and we had opportunities in the first and second inning with the runner at third with less than 2 outs, and didn't get either one of those runs in. And that's a close game late. Those things are what causes you to win and lose ball games. And so I was frustrated with that. Obviously, it didn't end up hurting us, but those things will come back to bite you most of the time.
Up next, Buffalo baseball will be at home for the first time this year. Originally, the games were supposed to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but now it has moved to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday game is set for 7 o'clock, and the Friday, Saturday games are set for 6.
We played them last year. They're a really good team. They've got a third-year head coach there, Sam Carroll. Does a really good job with them. I've heard they're really talented. I know they've got a really good arm. That's their closer. That's a potential high draft guy. Hopefully we don't have to see him. If you're up in the games most of the time, you don't have to see the big closers. So our ultimate goal is something we'll be talking about, is not to see that guy unless they use him in a different role. So we've got to get out on them early. We've got to continue to play solid defense. We've got to get better at executing on the smaller ball type stuff. We didn't execute some hit and runs this past weekend, some bunts, stuff that we've got to get better at on the short game wise, because when it's closer ball games, you're going to need those things to win.
Also in baseball news, Adam Atkins was named Lone Star Conference Baseball Player of the Week. The junior had a solid weekend as he ended up going 7 of 14 with 3 runs scored, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run, and 8 runs batted in on the weekend against New Mexico Highlands. Lady Buffs also starting their season off on the road, heading to Las Vegas, Nevada, and ended up coming out of the weekend a perfect 5-0. Lady Buffs starting out on Friday against Stanislaus State and ended up getting an 8-0 win in 6 innings. And then in the late game against number 18 Cal Baptist, Lady Buffs ended up with a big 8-3 win. Then on Saturday, the Lady Buffs also getting to see New Mexico Highlands as they ended up winning 11-1 in 6 innings. And then later on in the day, Lady Buffs got to see Augustana, where they got a 7-6 victory. And then finally, the last game of the weekend, Lady Buffs got to see Sioux Falls when they ended up getting another tight win, 5-4.
Well, obviously we're a young team, and we knew that going in, and have a lot still to learn about playing at a high level. And I thought that we came out, played pretty good softball. Friday we came out and played well in the opener against a decent Stanislaus team, and Shani Starkey threw a great game, and offensively we clicked. Maddie Green had a couple of home runs, and Shannon McBroom, some of the freshmen that we were counting on in some key positions. So that one was kind of easy. Then we came back against a very good Cal Baptist team that night, and felt like we had a chance to put them away early. We jumped out early on them, and could have been another run rule situation for us, and we kind of went on coast and kind of let them back into it, which was kind of our mark the rest of the weekend. We came out again on Saturday morning with New Mexico Highlands. We were a little sluggish at the start, put them away with some big innings late, and then played a very good Augustana team. Same situation. We get out 3-0 in the first inning, have a chance to really build on it, and we have to fight to win an 8-7 game. So that was something we were looking at how we would handle that. Talked about it Saturday night. Obviously, come out yesterday, third day of a long weekend, and play a very good Sioux Falls team that played Texas Women's very close the night before, and you know, we got down early 4-0, and we're making some defensive mistakes. We just weren't there, and then all of a sudden, you know, our upperclassmen kind of lifted up the tempo a little bit, got some things going. I had a chance to give some insight, and you know, we end up tying the game at 4-4, and then Kylie Moore comes up with a big swing and gives us the lead. And you know, Alexis Alfonso was great all weekend in the circle, and you know, she came in that situation and didn't give up a hit, and was solid the rest of the way out. So we got to win against a very good Sioux Falls team. So good trip, good weekend. We just we still have a lot to learn. We're still a young team that has to find its identity, but it's good to be trying to do that when you're 5-0 rather than, you know, how to recover from losses.
And just like the Buffs, the Lady Buffs will see their home opener this weekend, as they will actually play 6 games in 3 days. They'll play 2 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday.
Yeah, you know, and that's something we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to coming back to Schaefer Park. We're looking forward to getting the home season started. We're going to see some good teams. You know, we opened up with Missouri Southern. They had a pretty good weekend on the road, played some Lone Star teams very close, so I think they'll be good. Pittsburgh State's coming in and is very talented, and Washburn has a new coach and doing some good things, and then of course we see Fort Lewis and Chadron, teams that we've kind of seen this weekend now for 3 or 4 years. So it'll be a good bracket. You know, we'll be tested. We play 2 games on Friday, 3 on Saturday, which will be a real test for us, and then we have the single game on Sunday. So should be a good weekend. It'll be great to get back out, and looks like we're going to have great weather, so we should have a big crowd and a lot of noise, and you know, I want to see how this team responds in that atmosphere also.
And folks, be sure to come out to that 11 o'clock game against Washburn for Lady Buff softball. As before the game starts, we will get to honor Lacey Taylor's number. Lacey Taylor's number 23 will be the 4th honored number in Lady Buff program history, where she will be joining Kim LeCompte, Alyssa Lemos, and Renee Irwin. WT Track and Field with another solid performance this last weekend up in Colorado at the Grizzly Buffalo Clash. It almost seems like every time we're talking about track and field now, it's most likely because somebody broke more records. The first school record this weekend was broke by Stephen Cooper in the 200 meter with a time of 21:27. Next school record was also a meet best by Courtney Head in the weight throw. She ended up scoring a mark of 16.89 meters. Kennedy Hudson ended up setting the next record in the 60 meter with a time of 7:62. And then for the second time this season, Riley Caputin ending up breaking the long jump record with a 6.01 mark. And then lastly, Paulo Lazarick ending up breaking the record in the high jump with a mark of 2.09. On top of plenty of record-breaking performances, the Buffs and Lady Buffs altogether combined for more than 20 first-place finishes in Colorado. And the Lady Buffs also are now sitting in the number 4 spot in the country, the highest that the women's program has seen in its history.
Had 5 school records this past weekend. I think a lot of that is because we went up to Adams State and we faced a really good team. I mean, Adams State, both on the men and women's side, they have national leaders now in, it seems like a majority of the events, and our kids were right there neck and neck with them competing. So, you know, fortunately we came away this weekend with kids that are in the top 3, top 5, and it just pulled them to school records. I mean, it really has to do with the level of competition that we're facing. It really does.
Up next this weekend, track and field will be split into 2 different locations. The long-distance runners will head up to Grand Valley State for the GVSU Big Meet, and the rest of the team will head over to New Mexico once again for the Don Kirby Invite.
Yeah, Grand Valley has a great facility. It's a 300-meter track indoors, and Another group will be going to Don Kirby, which is out at UNM, and that's a great facility as well. This is a really big weekend for track and field. You're going to see a lot of those national leaders pop up on the list this week, and so it's a really important week for us to capitalize and have some good performances.
Folks, we'd like to thank you for joining us this week on Heard That. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's going to be a pretty busy weekend here in Canyon for West Texas A&M athletics. For basketball, softball, and baseball, as long as everything goes as planned, everything will be streamed this weekend here at home, so be sure to head to GoBuffsGo.com in the fan zone and click on live video to catch all those games. And don't forget, you can keep up with all your favorite Buff and Lady Buff sports at GoBuffsGo.com and come back here every Wednesday for Heard That. For the WT Sports Network, I'm Zach Barnes. We'll see you next time.